I'm thankful for the Frederick Rescue Mission because I get to see every day God working in people's lives, and had the opportunity to see a lot of lives change during my time there. And now I have the privilege to introduce to you Ed McCarthy. Where are you, Eddie? Come on up here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank Tommy Skangs and Arnold Farlow for asking me to speak about the Frederick Rescue Mission. I'm honored to do so, and also with it being the 50th anniversary, it's special. It's been 10 years since I walked up the front steps of the Frederick Rescue Mission, and I want to quickly tell you about the journey that I've been through that got me to the mission. I was born on June 2nd, 1970, in Downey, California. My dad was an alcoholic whose father was not in his life. My mom worked several jobs to make ends meet, and my sister was 4 at the time. My mom had enough of the physical and mental abuse and packed us up and moved to Baltimore, Maryland when I was 3 months old to live with my grandmother. My mother also didn't have a father in her life, as well as my grandmother and my great-grandmother. Do you see the pattern that has been formed in my family history all the way back to the 1800s? There were no fathers in any of my family dynamics, and they all ended in divorce. I grew up a normal kid. My mom remarried when I was 3 years old. I thought everything was normal until I was able to understand that my stepfather was also alcoholic. We did things together until I was about 12 years old, and then I just couldn't respect him anymore for the way he was treating my mother. So I started to hold resentment and anger towards him and myself, inside myself. I was a big kid at a young age, so I would hang out with the older kids in the neighborhood. The kids were 17, 18 years old when I was 12. I felt accepted, loved, and understood. They introduced me to marijuana and alcohol. It seemed to make everything a lot better, Through my early teens, I continued to drink and do drugs with no consequences, it seemed. I never got in any trouble. Still did okay in school. Everything was good. When I got into high school, my drinking and the drugs escalated from marijuana to cocaine, acid, any pill known to man. I did it. At 16, my resentment and anger came to a head with my stepfather. I couldn't stand the abuse my mom had endured my entire childhood. So a lot of arguments and fights with my stepfather was inevitable. I wasn't proud of it at the age of 16, but I thought that was my only solution. After that, there was no interaction with my stepfather at all. In my junior and senior years of high school, I was very good at football, and had several Division I colleges come to see me at school. They couldn't understand why a young man with a 1,315 SAT score was getting C's, D's, and E's on his report cards. Just another major disappointment in my life. When your parents tell you they can't help you in any way for college and to figure out what you're going to do with your life, you feel alone. So I made a choice. I was going to run from my addictions and join the Navy. I signed up with the one goal in mind of being a Navy SEAL. I went through boot camp, got stationed in San Diego, California. I was able to pass all the tests and get accepted into Navy SEAL training with Navy SEAL Team 3 at Coronado Island, California. While I was waiting for the next training to start, I was finishing machinist school. My drinking was still out of control. I made a choice that would change this chapter in my life forever. I won't go into any details about the situation, but I ended up getting 1 year in San Diego State Penitentiary. Got thrown out of Navy SEAL training and discharged from the Navy. Another major disappointment in my life. After getting out of jail and back home, I just did several jobs, always construction, and just continued to use drugs and alcohol. It continued to get worse all the time. Through my 20s, I did nothing positive for my life. In my 20s, I started to smoke crack cocaine. I didn't care about anything, anyone, especially myself. I was trying to kill myself. My lifestyle was now just in survival mode. Living this type of lifestyle was very violent. From being cut, stabbed, and shot at, and doing the same in return to others. I robbed, lied, cheated, and hurt whoever and whatever got in my way. I was out of control, in and out of jail, and I had been smoking crack for 14 years and doing drugs and drinking for 21. I was 33 years old, living in a 8x10 bedroom in my parents' house. All the people I hung out with were dead from overdose or suicide. I was contemplating suicide myself. In my bedroom on December 30th, 2003, my mom came in and sat down beside me like she had done my entire life, it seemed. Not knowing that I had a knife under my leg and that I had decided to use it to end my life that night. She asked me what I was going to do with my life. I normally would just say, hopefully just die. But that evening, what came out of my mouth was, I don't know, the only thing that's going to save me is God. She replied, well, go find him then. Without hesitation, and under the influence of drugs and alcohol, I remembered my friend, the only one that was still alive, had went to the Frederick Rescue Mission. I made a choice and called the number. It was well past the time anybody would answer. But that night, someone did answer. I told them they had to wake up my friend. It was a life or death situation. He came to the phone. I told him I wanted to come to the mission. He said it was full at the time, and the waiting list was very long. He said he would ask the staff in the morning to see what he could do. For the first time in my life, I fell to my knees and prayed to God to give me this one opportunity and that I wouldn't let him down. Without knowing what was going to happen, I packed my belongings and told my parents that I was going to the Frederick Rescue Mission. It was 1 a.m. when I did that. At 7 a.m., my friend called and said someone had just left the mission, relapsed, and there was a bed available. I was in the car and on my way at 7:30. When I arrived at the mission at 9:30, my mom hugged me and said, if it doesn't work out here, you can't come home anymore. That was the first time she had ever said that to me. When you walk up the steps at the Frederick Rescue Mission, I didn't know what to think. It didn't look like anybody was even there. I entered and was told the rules and regulations, signed an agreement, and went to my sleeping area. It was a Tuesday. They told me to relax and get rest till Friday, and that's when the chapel was, upstairs. On Friday, January 4th, 2004, I made a choice that is still changing my life today. Excuse me. I was sitting toward the back of the chapel, and the pastor, Frank White, was giving his sermon. At the end of the sermon, he asked if anyone wanted to give their life to Christ. I didn't move. I heard someone say, get up. I looked around and didn't see anyone. I heard him say, get up again. I looked around, didn't see anyone. I thought I finally had done it. I was officially crazy. And finally, the voice said, you're here, get up. I stood up and walked to the front of the little chapel upstairs at the rescue mission. Pastor Frank said, it's okay, bow your head and repeat after me. Father God, I ask you for forgiveness of my sins and ask you to be my Lord and Savior. When I finished the last word, I felt the power of God reach down through the top of my head. He pulled all the sin, addictions, and burdens right out of me. I describe it as going down a huge roller coaster hill. It stopped my heart, I lost my breath, and dropped to my knees. I sobbed uncontrollably for an hour. I knew that at that very moment, God had just removed everything from me, and I was so thankful. Life at the Rescue Mission is great. It's the only program that I know about that is free and, most importantly, Christ-centered. The mission teaches you about a relationship with Christ while also helping you apply it to your life. While going to classes during the day and working in the evenings, afternoons, it is a great combination to help you equip yourself for life back in the world. The staff was incredible. Were always there when I needed them, and they answered every question I had about the Bible. It was also incredible to me that people I didn't even know were willing to help and give to me and all the other men at the mission. It's the people like you that give unconditionally from your heart that makes it possible for men like me to have a second chance at life. It's God's design to help each other. If only the world could get it right, how awesome would the world be? I want to tell you about what has happened since I've been out of the mission. The mission also allows you to go to the YMCA as well, to get physically built up as well as mentally and spiritually. I met my wife at the YMCA and later asked her to marry me there as well. Because the mission is affiliated with so many programs, I was able to build my body back from 180 pounds to 230 pounds in 1 year, and to be able to play semi-pro football for the Frederick Outlaws. Also to play every game and to go undefeated for 2 seasons at the age of 37. I've run several half marathons, 10 miles, and 5K races, and I still continue to work out. My wife and I were able to build a beautiful home, which we are selling now, to be able to move back to Mount Airy to build another one with a lot more land. We have a handsome 5-year-old boy named Joshua and a beautiful 18-month-old girl named Jenna. We instill Christ first in everything we teach them. I worked my way up in the electrical trade through different companies, achieved my Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania statewide master electrician's license, and soon to be West Virginia and District of Columbia. I was able to start my own electrical company called Redeemed Electric. I'm happy to say my company has taken off incredibly. I'm able to donate and sponsor races and functions at the mission and in the community as well. I am proud to say that I'm a man who loves Jesus Christ, is a great husband and father, and was able to change my family history by being a father who was there for his family. I'm a fighter who never gave up, even when it was hopeless. I'm the only member in my entire family history to achieve a master's in anything. I've come so far in a short period of time, and I'm not going to stop either. All these things I've told you would not be possible, 1, because of Jesus Christ, 2, because of the Frederick Rescue Mission, and 3, all of you, beautiful people with caring hearts who give because of what they believe is right to do. The mission has given me everything. It is the greatest program anywhere with the best staff. I hope my story somehow has touched you in some way. To be able to see what your donations have done for me and my family, I cannot even begin to tell you how grateful I am for what you have done for me by giving to the mission. I know the mission is going to expand very soon with new buildings and additions, and I hope to be part of that process with my company. So when you give to the mission this year, just realize how significant your $10 or $10,000 is. It changes lives dramatically. When I say thank you to all of you, it doesn't even seem like enough. So by being able to follow in your footsteps and to be able to donate and give back to the mission now, it has come full circle. It's an honor and a privilege to give now to change the next man's life. God bless and thank you. Thank you.